I'm seeing red. The hunger for war is in my blood. Hunger is war with my lungs. You can see it in my eyes. I am the phoenix about to rise. I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. One-man army under the gun. Locked and loaded. Here I come. Laying on your back. Always at the ready to attack. I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing red. Do or die, alive or dead. Hear the voice inside my head telling me this is not the end. I'm seeing. I'm seeing. I'm seeing I'm seeing I'm seeing red.
Hey,
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
welcome back to the ranch. Good to see everybody. All bright and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, we got 7 people watching us. Thank you for joining us tonight.
And we do have a little game to play with y'all tonight, I guess you could say. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up in about a half hour when our viewers really peak to the most. So Carl brought the idea to me, and I thought it was a great idea. So I'm really excited to see how this works out. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a guest today. If we do have anybody in the comments that wants to come on to the ranch today, let us know. We'll get you the Discord link. You get you the StreamYard link sent to you directly. So if you're interested in being on the show today, let us know in the comments below, and we'll get a hold of you. To start off, I've got some good news. Well, at least for all my Texas viewers, Texas is looking to go constitutional carry. Oh, yeah. You'd figure Texas, after years of leading the way for all this, would have been one of the first that did something like this. But honestly, Missouri and several other states beat Texas to it. Now, don't get it confused. It has been okayed by the legislature, but it is still in the Senate. So it has passed one, but it's going to the other one. And there's been the reason I wanted to bring this up is there has been confusion, at least with some of the people that I know, who are saying it's okay to constitutional carry now. Not yet. It's close, but not yet. So don't think, oh, I can carry now without a license. They're still pushing the bill. It still has to go and get approved by the Senate, and then you can constitutional carry. But as of right now, it's only in the process, and it has passed the first few checks on the box that says okay. So don't be stupid and take your firearm out there and start carrying willy-nilly. You've got to pay attention to the bills. Speaking of bills, it looks like HR 127 is still frozen. Haven't seen any new movement on that one. But there's been a lot of changes. I know our current resident is looking to ban high-capacity magazines, which is a bit of bad news for some states. As it stands, over half the country already has turned into sanctuary states. So even if they do manage to pass any of these bills, 24, 25 states are like, nah. You can imagine what's here. We're trying to keep it a little PG, but a little bit. So we'll there you go. So pay attention to your states and how their laws are coming out, especially for firearms. Now and again, we do like to cover state laws here. Right now, today we're going to be doing a lot of bill coverage. But if you want us to cover your state's laws for firearms and try and look into, okay, you are a sanctuary state, or you're following Missouri's footsteps where they're basically null and voiding every gun law ever. We'll just let us know in the comments or jump on our Discord. And I was bad last week, or what was the week before last? I didn't post our Discord link, so I'll try and remember that before the end of the show. But you can always hit us up on Facebook and let us know, hey, I want you to cover Alabama more in depth. And we'll do it. Again, we do have more viewers jumping in. If you do want to come on to the ranch, if you want to come on to this show right now, let us know in the comments and we'll get you the links you need. I'll be reiterating that over and over and over again for the people that kind of jump in and out watching the numbers and everything. Right. But we are looking to bring guests on today because we could not find one this week.
And if you have questions, post them in chat. We're up to 13 people and we only got one posting right now. So everybody just tell us where you're from.
Don't be shy. And actually, Carl is still doing his 12-hour shows on the Bill of Rights Network. So
Born TV.
Let him know how he's doing, keeping y'all entertained. Going back to state laws, Alabama Senate has just passed a GOP-backed bill to block federal gun control laws. This happened on April 15th, so this happened earlier this week. They're looking to become another one of the sanctuary states. So basically what the sanctuary state means is the local police, sheriff's departments, your state's government, essentially, will not help the federal government to abuse the Second Amendment. Easiest way to put that. They're not going to help. They're not going to fund it. They're not going to. If they want to take your guns in your state away, they're going to have to use federal government in order to do so. So seeing more and more, I'm hoping. I know we're not going to get all 50 states. I know that's not going to happen. We're definitely not going to get California. We're not going to get Washington. We're probably not going to get New York or Chicago.
Or Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is
you think so?
It's a swing state. I could see them. I could see him trying to pass a sanctuary bill. But I know, if anything, I could see us getting about 40 out of 50.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see 40 out of 50 basically telling the federal government and the resident that they can get bent. And I'd love to see. I love seeing every week. I think we've seen one new state join the fight for the Second Amendment.
Oh yeah, it's always popping up on YouTube or the news or something where one of them's going to join.
Yeah, and just getting more and more. I know it's going to be a slow, monotonous process, but the more we can get, the better things will. You have to make a stand,
Right.
and we're trying to do this as peaceful as possible while it remains peaceful. Executive orders is not going to be peaceful. He's talked about passing 3 new gun bills. In fact, he was talking about from who is this? Forbes.com. The resident is looking to ban high capacity magazines as ammo runs short for new owners to fill them with. So they're trying to ban, and they're talking about all these mass shootings, and they dictate a mass shooting as 4 or more people being shot and or killed by a firearm. And look, every time they have tried to pass this agenda and scare fear into everybody out there, look at how things change. Look at what we had with Black Lives Matter and Antifa. They tried to make them out to be the hero. Look at how COVID started. They tried to play it up to be, they were giving us false numbers. They were giving us numbers hundreds of thousands of times greater than what they were. They had the wrong death count. It was just chaos. So now the mainstream media, we all know the mainstream media is bought out. So as it stands, they're going to cover any mass shooting that's out there right now. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they just paid somebody to be a fall guy, go out, do something stupid, and then get blamed for it and everything like that. Which is why seeing more states become constitutional carry states and sanctuary states, I think is a great idea, because the only way to stop a bad guy from doing a bad deed is a good guy willing to do even worse. So arming the people and giving them the protection they need in their day-to-day life. I can promise you, as soon as this constitutional carry bill passes, I will be armed to the teeth in public. You can ask any of my friends that know me personally. I am already fairly well armed with water guns and super soakers. So
yeah. Now, when they pass that down there, is that just for handguns, or is that going to be for anything?
Well, again, Texas legally allows, and this is at least for Houston area, you can legally carry any long rifle or long firearm as long as it is unloaded. Now, is that a good idea? Not necessarily. The police are going to stop you. They're going to point guns at you and put you on the ground and everything. And there's a lot of these cop watchers that actually go out and do this. They take their rifle, shotgun, what have you, go out in the public, walk around, take it for a stroll. It's usually strapped to them. Their hands are free. And I want to say about 40 to 50% of the videos I've seen, one cop is pulling a gun on the individual while other cops are showing up and just berating these people because they have a gun in public. Well, by law, they're legally allowed to do so. You not knowing the law is a bad image. Now, I try and back the police as much as I can, but seeing stuff like this, it kind of kills a little bit of hope for me. Why do the people know the law better than you do? You should not be, if you want to exercise your rights and liberties and go take your AR-15 for a walk down Central Square, okay, have a good day. Don't get too wet. I don't see a problem with it. Why police are harassing you? And again, as long as you are not committing a crime, suspected of a crime, or have just committed a crime, you don't have to identify yourself. And they will bully you into trying to give away your name and everything. You don't have to do that. The smartest thing to do is shut up, tell them I want a lawyer, go to jail, give them your gun. You're going to have it confiscated. It shouldn't be. For the love of God, you should not have your firearms confiscated for you exercising your rights and freedoms. But again, the uneducated police officer is going to do what he thinks is right. So instead of being shot by a cop, shut your mouth, go to jail, get booked in, get processed out, and sue the ever-living tits out of them. Be smart about it. Because in the end, the only thing that's going to do is going to waste your time, but you're going to make some money out of it. Or you can make some money out of it. And I can promise that cop is either going to be fired or some kind of punishment will follow suit because he abused his power.
Yeah, we can if you want to make a pot. I'll drink it tonight.
Oh, he's
We'll
getting
drink
him
it all
up. So with high capacity magazine bans, I mean, we all know as some of these bills are going to make about half of us felons. Be a felon.
Yeah.
Be a felon. This is the one thing I would say: stand up, be a felon. Protect you, and you've seen it before. We've had Luke from the UK, and we've had, what was his name?
Oh,
what was his Swedish friends? We had somebody from the UK and we had somebody from Sweden come on to our show, and they told us about their gun rights, liberties, and some of the other laws they have to deal with. Again, the UK has to have a license just to watch TV. So if you want to go to that kind of lifestyle, I don't know about y'all. After I get off work, I'm ready to
shut her down. We'll lock her all up tonight.
Have a drink.
Okay, we'll see you.
Maybe a glass of whiskey every now and again.
You want me to do it?
But thank you, Carl. But I like to watch my TV after I'm done with work. And they have to have a license just to do that. They can't even defend their own homes with their firearm if they have, even if they have them. And they have to have them so broken down and pulled apart that if somebody did break in, they couldn't even use it effectively because they've got to go find other parts and ammunition. Plus, if they use their firearm to defend themselves in their property, they're going to get arrested. And that's what we're going towards if these bills pass. You're going to be a felon one way or another, so you might as well do it the right way. Drill that third little pinhole, get that suppressor, and boogaloo, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's still highly illegal. But, I mean, if they're going to make you a felon, you might as well go all the way. Talking about gun bills and everything, that's the High Capacity Magazine. The Shush Act, S202, which is more good news for gun owners, is a new bill introduced to the Senate for the use of suppressors and what they call silencers. It's not a silencer. We cover that enough that if you come on my show and say silencer, I'm going to strangle you.
Yeah, movies made that name up.
Oh.
That's all it is. You know, there's a movie called The Silencer. And
not accurate at all. Ask any veteran, any gun owner that uses one,
right.
Anybody that's a suppressor fanatic, and any gun owner is going to tell you the same thing most of the time. The one that tells you a clip is a magazine, he's going to say silencer, but still. The S202 is a new bill modifying the treatment of silencers under federal status governing the sale, transfer, and possession of firearms. Don't worry, this is a short one. I'm not going to monotone and roll on and drone on. No, this is a quick little bill, just a quick touch on it. It's been introduced. Specifically, this bill removes silencers from the, and I hate when they use that word. I'm literally reading the bill. It removes silencers from the list of firearms subject to regulation, i.e. registration and licensing requirements under the National Firearms Act. Additionally, excludes a muffler or silencer from the list of firearms subject to regulation, example being a background check requirement under the Gun Control Act of 1968. Finally, the bill does the four following. It preempts state or local laws that tax or regulate firearm silencers specifically that a person who lawfully acquires or possesses a silencer under the provisions of the GCA meets the registration and licensing requirements of the NFA. It eliminates the mandatory minimum prison terms for a crime of violence or drug traffic offense in which a defendant uses or carries a firearm equipped with a silencer or a muffler, and it permits active and retired law enforcement officers to carry a concealed silencer. So it should, in theory, again, everything works perfect in theory, but in theory, it should make going and getting a suppressor easy. At this point in time, you should be able to roll in. This is going to piss off so many owners of suppressors because they had to go and wait the 9 months plus. In fact, I've talked to a lot of people. I've heard 6 months, 9 months, 8 months, a year, year and a half, 13 months. And I think that's about it. But they've had to wait this massive amount of time in order to acquire their suppressors, which we've seen and we've covered that suppressors have, many different benefits, specifically to firearm owners who want to go hunt and shoot regularly. It does reduce the damage done to your ears, where it's more harm than damage, where it will heal instead of it's going to be consistent. You're going to get tinnitus, you're going to have ruptured eardrums, stuff like that. So utilizing a silencer is a massive boon for everybody out there. I would recommend one if this bill passes, because otherwise you're going to wait and then they're probably going to ban them again. You just paid $900 for a new suppressor, it got banned, and you're probably not going to get your money back. But this should make it to where you can roll in to a gun store, go, hey, I want that suppressor right there, pick it up, pay, go home. Which is how, again, coming from Texas, that's how it works for me getting a firearm.
Right.
I can go into a store, pay, go home with a new gun most of the time. One of my toys took a little longer, but having that benefit of being able to go in and just take, because I don't agree with it being regulated. And Carl hit it on the head. Movies have made this to be this big, scary, oh God, it makes everything so quiet that you can't hear the gunshots. It doesn't work like that. It will never work like that. The only two rounds you're going to really see that where it's silenced is the 17 hammer and the 22 LO. So I don't know why we get on suppressors so much here. I guess the viewers
it's
like
a big issue with a lot of people.
It really is, especially with Congress. They really hate suppressors.
Well, especially since everybody's seeing that fake suppressor and silencer.
Oh, we've covered that a lot too. If you don't know what we're talking about, what he's talking about, what he just mentioned, is there is an ad for a fuel or oil filter for a vehicle, and people are going on there and posting the caliber they're wanting to get this fuel filter for. That's entrapment. That's going to put you on a list. If they send it to you, they're going to come and check your property, and they're going to find you with a suppressor, and they're going to arrest you. Yep. Don't buy it.
It don't work anyway.
No. It's probably made of cheap grade aluminum. It's going to blow up the first use. Don't be stupid. Don't risk your liberties. And I can promise you, even look at how they're treating the marijuana. They've started loosening laws. They're starting to ease back on some of the regulations on that. And we still have hundreds, if not thousands of people still rotting in jail for minor marijuana possession charges. They've got people sitting in there for 15 years for just a small itty bitty little bag. And we have made the laws more relaxed, and it shouldn't be. If you're going to relax the laws for that, you need to get them out. No, technically they have served their time. Get them out. If you're going to reduce the sentences, if you're going to make the laws easier on the people for marijuana possession, or in this case, a suppressor possession, you can't be punishing them for this crap. So I would like to see that bill. Actually, the two bills I want to see pass is the constitutional carry for Texas and this S202 bill being passed so that we can all get suppressors.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if they would, because they're, I don't know why they're trying to outlaw them anyway. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think of is it goes back to the movies. And again, if you want to be on the ranch tonight, if you want to come onto the show, let us know in our comments. We'll bring you on.
Yeah, just shoot us a message in the chat room over there, and we'll get you on here.
Yep. So we'll get somebody will want to volunteer.
Right. And we're open, even if you're against the Second Amendment, you come on here, you respect the show, and can do a person-to-person conversation without getting outrageous, belligerent, or anything like that. We welcome you to come on.
Yeah, argue your points with us.
Right. And we'll see what we can come back. If we can't come to a conclusion together, then, we go on.
Exactly. No, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And in fact, you saw last week we had Scott Pryor, who is adamantly liberal, how he is for gun use. So our job is to educate the people with the use of firearms and the benefits of having firearms, and really need to hit the nail on the head today. And I'll tell you why. Because there's some sick turd out there pushing that April 24th is going to be a National Rape Day.
What?
Okay, for those of you who haven't heard this, obviously Carl hadn't.
No.
There's this new trend on TikTok, and the mainstream media is actually covering this, where there is a group of men who are actively calling April 24th National Rape Day, where they are claiming they are going to go out into public and do this despicable act to people. If there was any time constitutional carry bills need to be passed, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month.
By April 23rd at midnight.
Exactly. Because if you're going to actively say, I mean, look how many child predators have been busted doing these transgender acts and going and reading for kids. What is it, like 60, 70% of them have been busted? It's a huge amount. So if you've got a group of, say, 200 people claiming they're going to go out and rape somebody on April 24th, odds are about 130, 140 of these sick individuals. I'm trying to watch my language as best as possible.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
But this is the point in time where you should have something and know your laws, know your requirements, know what needs to happen, because there's a difference between stand your ground states and what is the other one? It's like flee or fight, something like that law, where if you cannot run, now you can defend yourselves, which I believe California, Chicago, New York, all these very blue states have at least that law where if you can't run anymore, now you can defend yourself.
Right.
But many states that lean a little more red usually have a stand your ground law. That means if you feel your life is threatened, you can do what you need to do and you don't have to run. So if you have this individual approaching you, and ladies, don't be afraid to go up to a guy walking the street that looks big and scary like me, grab his hand and act like his girlfriend and be sweet and say, just whisper to him, somebody's following me. I'm concerned. I'm scared for my life. Because I promise somebody like me will make somebody like that go the other way.
Yeah.
Go find a biker club. That'll be your best bet.
Yeah.
Woo! That would be
It
fun.
wouldn't, you're talking about that April 20th. It would not surprise me that the biker groups will be out patrolling areas.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that don't. Yeah. if that don't happen. Because a group of people going to go out and do that,
It's disgusting.
that is super
It's
disgusting.
it's wrong on every level. And the fact that they are promoting this and talking that they're going to do this, what do? We're law-abiding citizens.
I haven't heard anything about this. I'm gonna have to check into this story and put it out every day on
Look it up.
Born TV.
I'll actually read the article if you want me to.
Go ahead.
Users of TikTok app send out warnings about the April 24th TikTok trend. Over the past couple days, discussions surrounding the April 24th TikTok trend has intensified on social media. Users of TikTok are warning their followers across other social media platforms about this troublesome trend that was reportedly started by a group of men. The Newsweek reported on the claims of the users TikTok regarding this trend. Users of the app say that a group of men have declared April 24th a national day for carrying out rape and sexual assault. Here are a couple comments on Twitter about the April 24th trend. There are really people on TikTok trying to make a National Rape Day a thing. Excuse me, apparently it's on April 24th. Please be safe. Another one, some men on TikTok have apparently declared April 24th National Day for Sexual Assault. It might be a joke to these idiots, but there are people out there who might actually follow through with this. Stay safe. According to Newsweek, it is unclear where or how the trend started and who's responsible for starting this disturbing trend. So again, be careful. April 24th is going to be a very bad day. So be safe. We will try and follow more of this as that day comes up here on the Born Network. 2021, 22, 23. So that'll be our next episode, actually.
It's 6 days from now, yeah.
That'll be the next yeah.
It'll be the day before our episode.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me pull calendar up here and look. 24th is on Saturday.
Okay, so it will be the day before our next show. We might have to do a Saturday episode on something. I'm sure I saw Chasing Wolf in here.
Yeah, Chasing Wolf's here. Pastor Gary's in here. April's in here. Your dad's in here.
So Chasing Wolf, you might want to cover that Saturday morning. Might want to cover more of that because you are the gentleman that likes to chase wolves. There's going to be plenty for you to hunt out there that day.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Happy hunting. But we want to inform you of situations like this because as long as you are within your rights and you do have something that goes a little boom, you might want to have it on you that day, whether it be legal or not. Because I can promise you that if you can't get a hold of one of these by that time, your next best friend, snip that thing right off. As soon as he pulls it out, take it. Wear it like a trophy. They want to be sick animals, treat them like an animal.
That's right. You can always find something that's a weapon.
I'm blown away with how lightly we treat sexual predators. We put a dog down for biting a kid. Happens every day. Kid might have been playing too rough. They don't care about the situation. Dog with a kid, put it down. Dog attacked another dog. Don't care. Put it down. Why aren't we doing the same thing for people? You want to be a sexual predator. There shouldn't be a registry. There's a list. You did something absolutely despicable. You took away somebody's rights. You took away somebody's virtue. You may have taken away somebody's virginity. I can see rotting in jail for your entire life if you go against an adult. But if you go against a kid, you shouldn't be there a week.
No, I'm saying I'd take their head off.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't be sitting in prison for 20 years, or they got 7 years, they're out on a list. No, not anymore.
No, it's ridiculous. The courts will do that, but the minor stuff like that, they'll give them life, and it's ridiculous.
No, we're done. We, the people, need to be done more than the government is, because we have seen how the government handles everything. Red tape, paperwork out the wazoo. No, it might take, with this COVID crap, I've heard of people sitting waiting for jail processing for the whole year.
Yeah.
And no, the amendments call for a speedy trial by your peers, not sit there for a year. Due diligence. Yeah. No, he makes thank you. He makes a very valid point. There are lists, however, many of them fail to register in the cities and towns as mandated by law, and the prosecutors and judges fail to do their due diligences.
Exactly.
Right on the head, right there. If we can't, one, they shouldn't be registering themselves in the first place. They should be automatically, as they're being processed through the jail, put on a list. Somebody else's job, not theirs, because that takes away the ability to, I just forgot about it. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, guys. No. They get put on a list immediately after they've been convicted. And again, that's the important part, because there have been many, many, many cases where somebody has claimed, in fact, there was one 2015 where he just got released, where a football player had been tried for sexual assault against a woman at his high school, and he was convicted, and he sat in jail for a long. I think he got released in 2015. He had actually been in jail for like 7 years. He had a scholarship, full ride, everything, and because she spread the rumor that he had sexually assaulted her, they just booked him, and he was done.
Right.
Ruined his life. So that's the important part. I do think we need more strict punishments for these cases, but they need to have, without a shadow of doubt, evidence.
In the Bible, in Genesis 5, verses 5 and 6, God requires a man who is killed to be put to death.
I love how ironic that verse number came up. 556.
Oh, sorry for laughing so loud. That makes good. Hey, if we put that back up. Thank you, Pastor Gary, for that one. And you couldn't have done it better. It's 5, and then it's got the dot there, 5-6. So,
it's perfect. And in fact, in the Bible itself, it says, Jesus
says, that's why they made that size.
That's exactly.
That's a good question.
Also in the Bible, it says, he who does not have a sword shall sell his cloak and buy one. Something like that. I know I'm bastardizing that verse a little bit. It's been a hot minute since I've read the Bible. But even Jesus himself is saying, if you cannot protect yourself, sell your clothing and do so. So if you're a good Bible-loving Christian, you need a gun.
Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
That was perfect, Gary. Thank you.
Yeah, that came in. I didn't even look at it that way. You saw it. That was right on the money there. That shows he pays attention to the comments. I just throw them up.
Yeah. When he puts them up, I'm pretty good about recognizing things. But
yeah, that's good.
As far as reading your comments, he's better at it than me. I like to cover the articles because I do get very adamant about what's going on. And being a man and being bastardized by the media for this day, it breaks my heart because it puts a huge blanket of shame on all real men. And I do mean real men. Real men go out, protect their families. They earn their day. They protect their family. They do everything they can to provide for themselves and others they love. And they're not this sick
I think your cloak and sword deal was in chapter 9 in Genesis. I think that's what he's putting up there.
It's yeah, sure. So real, and there are still some real men out there, ladies. I can promise that we are here somewhere, but we've put these soft, weak men on a pedestal right now. Look at rappers, look at actors, look at government officials. We've got these soft men, boys, if you will, being praised for wanting to take away firearms, for using and abusing drugs, for taking the knee during the national anthem. We've idolized the wrong groups of people. We have fallen short of glory by a long shot. It's chapter 9, verse 5, 6.
Oh, well, it sounded better on chapter 5.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
close enough.
Hey.
But we and me and Carl have talked about this a lot. Don't let technology raise your children.
No.
I didn't have a cell phone until I was, I want to say 10 or 11. And we had the old cheap beater phones. Basically, it looked like a Nokia, but not the quality of a Nokia. And that's what we had. We could shoot text messages and we could make phone calls, and phone calls were only free after like 9 o'clock. And there's ways to. I cost my family a lot of money on something with those, so be careful. Put blockers on those phones. Still, I promise they can still find ways to go and look stuff up, but don't get them. A top of the line phone. Oh, if you don't get me an iPhone, Becky at school's gonna make fun of me.
Right. So go spend $2,000 for an iPhone.
If I don't get this iPhone, the football players are gonna bully me. The fact that you're pulling your phone out in the middle of school is disrespect. If I would have pulled my phone out in a class when I was in school, my dad would have tanned my hide. If they got a phone call saying I did something stupid like that, my butt would have been red for a week. Another thing we need to bring back: teach your kids there's consequences. But they don't need to watch everything out there. We have phones as adults because we want them. We don't necessarily need them. They are handy. We can check our mail. We can book restaurants. We can go book hotels. We can call Ubers. We do everything we need to do. But you put this technology in the hands of a kid, and you're going to have some YouTube streamer or some athlete putting out their bull crap to everybody out there, and they have a bigger following than us by millions. So your kid's going to find them before they find somebody like us that tries to teach the truth, tries to educate people about having good home value beliefs and the right to protect yourselves and what we like to cover here on the Bill of Rights Network. And they're going to see the propaganda and BS on all these other people, and then you're going to have them grow up and wonder what happened. Well, you let technology raise your kid. That's
right.
What happened. And again, if y'all want to come on to the show today, just shoot us a message
And we'll bring you on.
Put a comment down. I'll post the Discord link early today. You can click on the Discord link and I'll get you a StreamYard link sent directly to you. So if you do want to come on and talk some of what we discuss on here, by all means, come and join us. And April, I agree. There are ways to protect and limit or what on phones, but with how many apps are out there, with how many different web browsers there are out there, with how many different streaming platforms there are out there, with how much access to everything, there's always going to be a backdoor.
Right.
There's always going to be a backdoor, especially on these. That's why I say get them an old cheap beater phone. If you can find, Nokia still makes that old brick. They still have those phones out there. get them those. Because all they should need to do is call you if something happens. And that's why me and my sister actually got our phones, was because we had there was a fire at our school and they canceled school for the day, and we actually had to go up to a stranger and say, hey, can we use your phone real quick? And that's when our parents were like, they're asking strangers to use phones. We need to let them get phones.
Right.
So yeah, there's give and take there. So you have to choose wisely, to put it bluntly. Start loading up. See you in a little while. Looks like Gary does want to be on today.
No, he'll be up here for tonight.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Don't forget to check out Paranormal Nation Radio. They are going to be doing an investigation tonight.
Live.
And if you have seen Chasing Wolf in our comments pop up every now and again, he is one of our other guests on the Bill of Rights, or one of our other shows on the Bill of Rights Network. And that's why I want him to cover next week, next Saturday, because his show is actually in the morning. Mine's in the afternoon. So he's going to be able to give one more final, hey, today is a bad day kind of warning. So I wish I could watch it. No, I can watch it Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'll actually be able to start watching his shows live for once.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Great shows, by the way, too, man.
And then we have, honestly, that would be another good topic for HTX Renegade Radio, because they cover the problems with the borders and abductions and everything like that. So if it's National Day, they can cover what other problems might arise with this, because they live out in Houston as well. And Houston is the documented human trafficking city of the world. I say documented because you're not going to get the appropriate paperwork for every other country. I'm not saying Houston is the worst. I'm saying it's the worst as far as we know. So having them be able to cover it more in depth, and again, Houston is a huge city. So if there are people out there going, April 24th is this national day, it's probably going to happen around here.
Oh, that's just like the other day when the girls from the restaurant up here went down to the bus station waiting for somebody to come in. 15 illegals got off the bus up here in Missouri.
Yeah.
I know. It's sad time.
But the mainstream media is not going to cover that.
Oh, no.
They don't want. We cover stuff that pisses people off regularly. In fact, if you go back and watch some of the conversations me and Carl have had in the past, talking about still hitting your, punishing your child, prison sentences, stuff like that. We've covered everything under the sun that you shouldn't cover.
Yeah, if they go back and watch some of them conversations we had during the world record, oh boy. Yeah, we had some doozies. And some of them you couldn't listen to because we had them offline.
Yeah. Yeah. But we cover this because, well, one, fruit your feelings, and two, it needs to be discussed. The truth should piss you off, ladies and gentlemen. It should piss you off, and I will always say ladies and gentlemen, because there are two genders.
Right.
I'm telling you, I like to piss people off. We have trolls come into Twitch all the time.
Oh yeah, I had to shut Twitch down the other day on my 12-hour show. Some very rude, crude, unnice comments came in while April was doing her cooking part. And I went to Twitch, up here in the corner where you can go view it on Twitch to ban them. I blocked them. They still commented. I didn't like that part about it.
They must have had backup accounts.
No, it came under the same name.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we talk about stuff that's going to piss a lot of people. We might piss you off one week. We don't know, but
no,
we're going to talk
about it. We talk the Second Amendment, and we also talk the First Amendment. Freedom of speech. We have the right to say our opinion and everything.
Even if Facebook doesn't like us.
And anything we usually say, and I'll say almost how do I say that? All the time, we've got something to back it up. We're just not making the story up.
No.
TikTok's the one reporting all this. We're just telling our opinion on it and what should be done to protect, and
Yeah. I've posted the articles before in the comments for y'all to check out. I give y'all the website name so you can go and find it. If I talk about something, there's usually somewhere that I can go and find it and go, hey, this is where I found it. And in fact, one of the previous shows I did with another network, I got chewed out for talking about it, and I provided my evidence, and he lost his mind.
Yeah.
So I have, every time I put something out and around something like this, now mind you, I am very opinionated, and I'm not afraid to speak my opinion. And most of the time I try and let you, in my opinion, I'll let you know. But for situations like this, where it's this big of an issue and it's not getting discussed as much of it as it should be, I'm going to have something to back me up. I'm just not gonna come out here, oh, it's National Rape Day. Well, it was hearsay through this and this and this. This I actually went and verified this morning. I got on, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing this. People are talking about this. What the hell is going on? I'll go and find it. And that's how I get a lot of my articles is I'll see some hearsay, like, oh, is that real? Let me go and look that up. And I'll go Google it. And as long as there's like 5-6 different articles, okay, this might be true. Let me go and start reading through some of this and seeing if this is real or if this is a joke. No, this April 24th is not a joke. So be prepared. And actually, it's getting close to the top of the hour. So, Carl, why don't we, before we do the gun fail for the day, and ladies and gentlemen, this gun fail happened in my neck of the woods. And it is baffling to me. Now, this is covered. The one I have today is, well, before I get there, Carl, why don't we tell them about the shirt?
Okay, folks, what we're going to do you want to start it this week or do you want to start it next week?
Let's go ahead and start it now.
Okay, we'll start it now.
Let's see how determined we can get some people.
Yeah, because I can see the numbers. We have 8 people watching up here right now. I can tell by our little deal. The people in the chat room, share this out to all your friends. If your friends come and join in to watch and comment in the chat room that you sent them, if you send at least 10 people, the ones who send 10, those will be in a drawing to get a free Second Amendment shirt.
We'll pay shipping and handling included. When we say free,
we'll send it. We'll pay everything on it. It gets our viewership up. That's what we're trying to do. But they have to say you sent them in their comment in the chat room. When the show is over, we have all the chat right here. We can go through and count and everything. But you have to send it. 10 of them have to be to qualify.
Yep. And we're going to do this every week now.
So you got 1 hour to share this show out to all your friends and tell them when you share it out that go watch the show, comment in the comments, and the one who gets the most, and you have to have a minimum of 10 in there, we'll send you a free Second Amendment shirt. We'll get a hold of you, see what size you need, men or women's, and we'll get it shipped out to you.
Yeah. So let the sharing begin. Good luck. But
I'll keep an eye on the numbers. So
yeah. So we hope y'all actually like to participate. Now, with that, Mary, your mom doesn't count this week. This started today. So if she comes and joins us, I haven't seen her post anything. So if she says she came in, yeah, Mary sent me, then we'll count it. They have to say you sent them.
yeah,
But once they become a regular, so we'll say they've got 3 shows. Once they become a regular, at that point in time, after they say, hey, Mary sent me, Mary sent me, Mary sent me, now they're a regular.
Right.
They won't count after that.
Right.
So you've got 3 chances with the same people. But after that, you've got to find a new group.
Yeah, contact your mom because your mom will send it out to all her truck driving friends. They'll pop on here. We'll get loaded from all across the country from truck drivers.
Yeah, she'll get the first shirt.
That'd be awesome. Everybody must be getting on their Facebook and sending it out. Our numbers dropped right now, so I'm waiting for them to pop back up.
Yeah, we'll see. But going back to today's fail, I know what happened. I've seen the whole video. What is it? KPRC kind of covers it a little bit. I'm going to show you what it is, and I'm going to discuss everything. I sent it out to a bunch of people. All right, Christine, we'll see if they come and follow through with it. Right? We'll be watching for them. This is a huge, we love to do our do's and don'ts. This is probably the biggest don't I can tell you right now. It's very bad. It's a 2-minute video. Again, it's covered by KPRC. Once we show it to you, I'm going to cover it more in depth of what happened. So
stay tuned. Warning.
Actually, Carl, there's no blood, but for the actions, we probably want to put our explicit content on them just to be safe.
Okay, you've been warned.
Yep. Again, this is from KPRC. He did get banned from this gun range. You can clearly tell this man, it is his first time at a gun range.
Who, the newscaster?
Houston Range. A man caught on camera pointing a gun at his friend's head for the sake of a selfie. Tonight, we are hearing from the manager of Top Gun in West Houston. Keith Garvin joins us live with the important lesson in gun safety tonight. Keith?
Dominic, the video filmed inside this gun range has gone viral. It is textbook example of how not to handle a weapon on a gun range or anywhere for that matter.
Lesson number 1 when shooting at a gun range.
Oh my God.
Never ever point a weapon at your friend's head or anyone's head for that matter. But surveillance video from the Top Gun range on Beverly Hill Street near Richmond and Fountain View near the Galleria shows a customer doing just that.
Very scary situation.
Take another look. The man, in an effort to take a selfie, starts off by breaking one of the cardinal rules of gun range safety. He's pointing his pistol toward the lane next to him rather than downrange. The lane next to him is filled with several people who were taking a safety class this past Friday. Then, for a second selfie, he decides to point the gun at his friend's head.
It would have been a very bad situation, not just for obviously us and the other patrons on the range, but that guy and his family.
But the range safety officer who was teaching that class in the next lane quickly steps in, forces the man to put down the weapon, and escorts both men from the range.
Everything he did was fast, prompt. He followed every rule as far as our range safety officer of getting that situation handled and under control.
Managers at the gun range have sent the video to all their employees as a training tool. They also wanted to give the public a refresher in gun range safety by releasing it on social media. Viewers have taken a few shots at the customer involved.
The only other comments we've seen about how dumb the other gentleman's decision was, to put it lightly.
From the range, employees went back to retrieve their belongings, including that weapon. Both men have been banned from ever shooting at this range again. Reporting live from near the Galleria, Keith Garvin, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right.
Exactly.
So no, it's bad. So the gentleman, actually, and why are you still playing? So the gentleman, the range safety officers failed. And I'll tell you why. Because they do have a camera. They saw he was breaking blue. You clearly saw he was pulling up his pistol. Let me take a selfie. This is when, this point right here, he should have been put down, put the gun down, and be escorted out. Right there. That was his first offense. His second one was when he grabbed his buddy and put that gun right up into his neck. That one, I can completely understand the ban immediately. But in my mind, that range safety officer failed. The people watching the security videos failed because they didn't call him out immediately They covered that it was a safety firing course. So obviously, probably a new shooter, hadn't been to a range before. He's just trying to get his license right now. I would have sent this out to everybody in the area, every range around. If you see these guys, don't let them in.
Right. Ban them.
Because I can promise you, if something like this happened on my range, they'd have been gone immediately. We'll bring you your stuff. We'll disarm it. We'll make it safe. We'll bring you your bag. You can check it in the parking lot. If you have any problems at that point in time, you can come and tell me. We'll go back and look. But you're not coming back into that range to collect your belongings. It's not going to happen. So
at that type of range, are there supposed to be 2 people in a cubicle?
You can't. Down here, we typically you can have a group of people run through one cubicle. Most of the time, they'll stand on the back wall behind everybody, wait for their turn to come up, go shoot. They'll grab their target, go back, wait for their next opportunity to come up and shoot. Usually saves people money. I know when me and my dad shoot, a lot of the times we reload our ammo at the cubicle. We'll do what we need to do at the cubicle. And then once somebody's ready to shoot, back out, clear the way, don't get in the way. That's not the biggest problem. I don't agree with it per se. I'm not going to make 2 or 3 people pay for a lane, but 4 or 5 more than that, yeah, you're going to have to get your own lanes. We could put 2 and 2, 2 and 1, 2 and 3, something like that.
Yeah.
But too many people clustering one area, especially if you've got multiple firearms going out right there, you're going to have some problems. That range safety officer, if he had headphones in, if he had somebody to communicate at that point in time, they should have come across, hey, he's breaking blue bad, get him out of here. Because I can understand, I really don't need to grab the gun again. I can understand breaking blue a little bit. You're coming over, you're wanting to set your gun down. You just kind of get a little complacent, set it down. But he wasn't even worried about those walls are not ballistic resistant.
He held it up just like this, pointing down at the other people.
That wall isn't going to stop that round. And most of the time when people go shoot, they're using an FMJ or full metal jackets, not hollow points. So that round is going to go through that wall into that person and possibly into the next wall and next person. Or if they've got 2 and 2 over 2 for these gentlemen, 2 in the next lane, you could risk killing those 2 people. Hello, Sandy. Welcome to the ranch. Glad to see some new people. You just missed our gun fail for the day. But if you're going to blatantly break blue and your gun's up here loaded, or even if it's believed to be, slide lock to the rear, okay, usually you can go, it's unloaded. I can see there's not a round in chamber. He shot all his rounds, slides are locked back. He needs to put more ammo in. But for that range safety officer, he's controlling a class essentially. There's too many people he's trying to watch. So if you've got a situation like that where you're understaffed and you can't put a range safety officer for every lane, you need to have somebody on the cameras with a radio going, hey, lane 6, shut them down, get them out now. And that would have prevented the gun being pushed up into the neck. That he could have stopped. We could have bypassed that whole problem where he's getting banned. And again, because of something like that, he needs to be banned everywhere until he proves himself competent. Because I can't blame his buddy. His buddy didn't have the gun, but him with the gun doing something that stupid. No, you're banned around the state until you can prove to law enforcement or certified professionals you are competent. You're not allowed back on the range. And that's going to be like, you have to pay to book a whole range for at least an hour. And if you do anything like that again, try to take a selfie. The range is not the time to take selfies. Before you get to the firing line, that's fine. Once you hit shooting area, once your feet get into that room or that lane area, the phone is no longer important.
Right.
If you've got a phone call, if you've got a text message, if you've got anything that's going to distract you, set your gun down, get out, back away, something. But taking selfies like that, I mean, I don't like taking a lot of selfies in the first place. I'm terrible at them. If I want to take photos of anything, I'm going to set it down and take them there. But do not ever think it's a good idea to go to a gun range. And it's like watching all these people at the gym working out in front of the mirror, taking photos instead of lifting weights or running. That irritates a lot of gym rats that I know. You don't go to the gym to take photos. You go to the gym to better yourself. Same thing for a gun range. You're not going there for photos. You're going there to better yourself. Exactly, Mary. Put your phone on silent. Don't bring it into the range. Put it in your gun bag. Most people that go to the range have some kind of container, whether it be the box that your firearm came in, a bag that you have. Put your phone somewhere else. Put it out of the way where it's not going to distract you. Do what you need to do. Go on about your day. But
And look at the way the range officer took it down. You notice he was packing a gun on his hip. He didn't have to pull that gun. He reacted fast enough to reach out, grab the guy by the back of the neck, which threw his head that way, where he grabbed that gun and put it down.
yeah.
He
The range safety officer did everything. In my mind, he did everything the right way he should.
Right.
Got control of the firearm, pushed it out of the way, put it facing a safe direction, got it on the table, backed them two out, said, you got to go. He did the right actions. He didn't need to use excessive force. He didn't need to hurt anybody. He didn't have to do anything extreme. He did that range safety. Once he saw something, he took the appropriate action. But when you've got your gun right here and that range safety officer's behind you focusing on his other lanes, there's not much he can do. And that's why I think you need more range safety officers to control situations like that. That, or again, they have the video. Get somebody in that room while the range is hot, watching. That dude's breaking blue bad. Gotta go.
gotta get him out.
Don't ever think that's a good idea. Ever. One, taking a selfie like this isn't a good idea. And one, if you get too complacent, your finger goes in that guard, especially if you've got a Glock or something without a safety mechanism on it, that gun can go off real easy. Real easy. And some of these newer models coming out, some of these nicer, higher quality guns have a lot lighter trigger pull than some of what I would like to see new shooters getting a hold of. Professional quality, you're going to have about 1/2 pound to 2 pounds of pressure for your firearm, for your trigger pull. I know most of my guns usually sit about 3 to 7 pounds. Perfect. I don't want something getting in there feather light. Boom.
Bump it and it goes off.
Exactly. Don't need situations like that, especially for a first-time shooter. Before you go somewhere, know how to handle your firearm, know how to control yourself, know how to look at the rules. If you're going to learn how to do anything, the smartest thing you can do is go and research it beforehand. Go prepared. Never go into anything blind if you can. These guys went in blind and they're getting banned.
Well, could you imagine up here we don't have hardly any of those indoor. That's in Kansas City area, 60 miles away, right? Ours up here are open, where you're open through. If that would have happened up here, it would have ended ugly. Because if all the shooters had been in shooter ranges right there, open like that, and seen him put that gun up to that guy's head, I can guarantee you somebody with 30-06 would have dropped him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
That's how stupid.
That's why, especially on our range, I want more range safety officers because we are going to be more of an open range. Now,
Right.
we will have some barriers between people so they can have a bench in front of them and everything like that. But I don't want somebody, if you're going to be stupid like that, I don't want you. You don't need to be here.
It's like
No.
Chasing Wolf said, his friend is lucky he didn't go out with a bang.
Yeah.
He's very lucky.
Oh, extremely.
Because we don't know if that gun was empty. We don't know if it was loaded after he shot or if he'd shot. You know,
No.
it could have been before he shot, and he had all of just loaded up to the max.
And all it would have taken was one good jump scare, and he could have pulled that trigger and ended his buddy's life.
Yeah, because he's paying attention to the phone.
Yeah.
You know, like he's looking at the phone. He ain't paying attention to what he's got up here. His finger, if you go back and look at that video, his finger was on the trigger.
Hmm. Breaking rules. He broke
He broke so many
all,
rules.
broke all the rules. I think. Don't point you. He pointed the gun without the intention to shoot. No, he broke 3 out of the 4. We don't know if his gun was on safe or not, which is a scary thought. But he had a finger on the trigger without the intention to shoot. He didn't know what was behind him. No, he was just pointing that gun like he was living his best life.
Yeah.
People like that,
And the funny part about it, he could have just got that gun that day.
I can almost guarantee he got it at least that day, if not maybe the week before.
Right.
He
Just
had-
got to shoot it. Oh, I got to take a selfie of me, you know, holding it.
and this is where I'm conflicted quite greatly, honestly, because I don't agree with requiring a license to carry. I do think there needs to be some kind of training, but I don't think you need to be required to have pay a license, especially not federally.
Right.
That's where I get a little bit torn apart, because we see stuff like this, and I've talked about some of my personal experiences before where I have seen not necessarily that situation, but I have seen people break blue. I have seen their fingers on triggers before they intend to shoot. I have seen people not check a gun clear and safe when they take possession of it. I've seen many, many different screw ups before, and that's why I can't stress it enough why I want to have this ranch, because I want to train the people to not do that.
Stupid stuff.
You know, so it's disappointing, to say the least, about that.
Jason Wolf was right on this one. It is always loaded unless you have verified that it's cleared. And then you still do not point it at others unless you plan on using it in defense of yourself or others. Exactly right.
Yeah, no, couldn't have said it clearer myself.
No, he said it perfect. A gun is not a toy, which we refer to them as toys. But they're not toys.
Yeah, I refer to them as toys because I'm comfortable around them. I deal with them enough. I sleep with them. In fact, I'm happy with the one I sleep with now because I know it has a safety trigger or safety guard, whereas my old one did not, and I was still sleeping with it. But I handle my guns, even when I do refer to them as toys, I still treat them with the greatest respect, because at any point in time, these could go. And I told y'all, I have had a gun discharge in my bed. I had one of the black scary one that y'all have seen a couple times. That's actually locked up right now. But it is not milled how it needed to be milled, and it has a lot of room in the magazine area in the upper on it, and it allows for a 45 caliber round to kind of bounce around in it if you don't eject it the right way. And it doesn't take, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't take a lot of pressure to make that primer pin go off. And once it goes off, there's nothing stopping that reaction. Once that primer pin's pushed, it's going. And it was nerve-wracking, and I didn't handle it how I should have. You're always going to be put in a situation. This was the first experience I've ever had with that firearm having issues. And I still have the round. It's actually in my truck right now. I wish it was upstairs so I could show you. But there's always going to be something new. Even if you're one of the most trained individuals out there, there's always going to be something that comes up that's going to rattle you. It's going to shake you. And you have to calm down. Honestly, what I should have done is kept the charging handle locked to the rear, pulled the stop, and then reached in and pulled that round out. There's so many different malfunctions that you can have with a firearm, and that's why you really need to familiarize. I'm honestly lucky that I didn't get hurt. Thankfully, that upper is beefy, to say the least. But and that's another reason we say never play with guns with alcohol. Good Lord, never play with it. If I have a drink, and honestly, I did have a little bit earlier, I didn't get to finish it. It's probably flattered in tits now. But never play with a gun with alcohol, because you'll get in a situation where something like that happens, and you might be that moron that takes that gun. Oh, let me see what's going on. And we showed that video, or we showed a similar video of somebody having a malfunction. It was a misfire. I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, where his shotgun didn't go off, and he looked down. He was looking down the barrel and blew his hat off. Thankfully, that was all he blew off. But we have covered that fail before, and you need to learn how to handle situations like that. Never look down the barrel of a gun in the first place. If you need to look down a barrel, there's a snake that you can shove in there with a light and a camera, and you can go and look at it. Even if you think that gun is clear and safe, you've done everything you need to do, there's always that small chance that, man, I'm not 100% certain, and you get hurt. So learn the different kind of malfunctions, stovepipes, double feed, misfires, how to handle them. Because if you have a round that doesn't go off, and my dad had this old 22 pistol, and you'd have to go through, it was a 6-shot pistol, and you'd have to go through 3 or 4 times to make sure every round went off. And we know every time me and my brother used this thing, we never pulled it back until we heard 6 shots. And we would both sit there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd count every single shot that went off. And after we did that, we would take it, eject everything, and look at the brass and make sure there was nothing with a live round still. Because you don't want to touch a live, I promise you do not want to touch a live round, ever. Just because it misfired, that process is still trying to go. That primer pin it's been hit. It knows it should be doing something. And if you grab that round with a full hand, you're going to find the worst firecracker of your life, and you're going to miss all your fingers. Every single one of them is going to get blown off depending on that caliber. So when you handle misfires, when you have a misfire, you need to learn everything to do. And honestly, I think next week, because we haven't done it yet, I want to cover all the different fails that you can have with a firearm. Misfires, double feeds, triple feeds, squib rounds. I want to go through all of them and how to handle them, because you may have a round go off, and you may have that round get stuck in your barrel because you put the wrong caliber in there. What do you do now? Well, you're going to have to wait to learn about that. Teach your kids to handle Nerf guns the right way, like real guns, with obvious differences as Nerf guns. That's not a bad idea. If you want to upgrade that, I recommend getting an airsoft gun. If you want to try and teach them the most realistic way to handle, Nerf is fine, fun, and dandy to play around the house with, but get yourself an airsoft. Has basically any type of firearm you want to get. You want to get an AK-47, shotgun, AR-15, bolt-action rifle. They have every single one designed after a real live firearm. April sent me. Oh, she won't let you get an airsoft gun? That's a shame.
She won't.
Well,
April's
don't get
on the track. Get 9 more, April.
Yep. We got 1 down. You got 9 more to get that shirt. But if you want to teach your kids about gun safety without a real gun, I highly recommend getting an airsoft gun, because it's going to have the safety. It's going to have the sights. It's going to have a magazine. It's going to have everything a real firearm has, with the exception of shooting a real round. It's going to shoot that little plastic BB out. And that is probably going to be your best way to train your children about firearm safety. Because if you don't get me wrong, Nerf it's not a bad start. You're trying to do the right thing, and you really are. But Nerf is cheap plastic. It's going to break. It's going to fall apart, and it doesn't look. Most of them don't look anything like a real firearm. Now, some of them do get close, but they're big, they're bulky, they're awkward. They don't really have safeties, and some of them are just gimmicky guns. But if you want to get trained up, if you're very concerned about utilizing a firearm or having a gun loose in the house because you have children, get them used to an airsoft gun, and they're only going to be like $20.
Right.
You don't need. I'm not saying go get into airsoft, go be this big guy and start playing professional airsoft. You can go get a cheap little airsoft gun, have fun, do what you need to do. You're not. Don't waste your money, is what I'm trying to say. Legal against Second Amendment right. I own only air guns. I live where hunting is pitiful to say the least. Fishing is great. I now plan to start a nice hunting rifle, 12 gauge, and a small caliber pistol. It's not the gun that kills; it's a mentally disturbed person. Saying even person doesn't kill can use a spoon. Screening many years ago. Maybe it will. Maybe it W. I don't. Okay. Jim, you're hitting the nail closely. It's hard to do a mental screening on people because people lie. That's why I agree with the criminal background check before buying a firearm. And congratulations on joining the Second Amendment fight.
Yes.
If you have any questions, I have quite a few myself. Carl has a couple. If you have any questions about what you would like to own, what you're looking for specifics, what you're trying to utilize these firearms for, anything like that, go ahead and ask us away. In fact, our first episode ever, we went into great detail about this gentleman in California trying to buy a shotgun. But the mental health screenings can be fraudulent. So as long as they don't have a criminal history with, I think what we have right now is good. It's close to what it should be. It could be improved on a little more. Like sexual assault cases. Now there's only like battery and assault cases, but I think if they have a trending criminal background where it's not just, okay, I had a DUI 20 years ago. Okay, you can still own a gun. I'm not saying that you can't but if you've got, say, 9, 10, 12 different crimes within a course of a couple years, maybe we need to take a step back and go, okay, do we really want an individual like this to own a firearm? Because why is he trying to buy this firearm? Why now? What's going on? His last incident was 2 years ago, and there's been a trend, every 2 years he's doing something stupid. Mental hospital admissions as far as I know, they don't, but they do ask about it. They do ask if you've been mentally or if you've been institutionalized for any means. Yeah, no, Mary, you're also right. You're right about that as well. If criminals want guns, these bills that they're trying to pass, they're not going to do anything.
No.
They are. They're going to hurt. They're going to hurt the people because
they're going to hurt your average American legal gun holder.
Yeah, they're going to make it more difficult for you and me to defend ourselves, buy a new gun, something like that. Whereas the criminal,
he go out on the street, he'll find one.
Yep. I mean, look at California. They put up gun drop boxes.
Yeah.
That's like Walmart to a criminal.
Right.
I thought about driving to California, hooking a tow chain up, and just going.
I would just sit back and watch them dump it. When they got done, go over there, take them out, put them in my truck, and leave.
Yeah. Thanks.
Finders keepers.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
And you can go, and magnet fishing is becoming a huge trending sport. And a lot of these guys that are starting out magnet fishing have had and found many, many, many different firearms. I can name at least one shotgun, 4 pistols, and I think a rifle and a grenade. Actually, 13 grenades have been found from magnet fishing. So if that criminal or if Joe Blow goes magnet fishing and he's a little mentally disturbed and he finds a gun that's in a somewhat decent condition, all he's got to do is clean it up and he's good to go. So these wait times, they want to have a 10-day wait time. They want to ban high capacity magazines. The only reason they're going to try and ban high capacity magazines is because they don't want we, the people, to have a lot of rounds when stuff hits the fan. So now instead of having 10 rounds coming at them, they've got 30 rounds. That's what they're worried about. Why do you think they're trying to ban body armor so adamantly? Because they don't want you to be. Body armor is one of the biggest benefits that you as a citizen can go and buy. And if you haven't, now I'm not sponsored by these guys. I don't even think they know I exist other than the fact that I bought their body armor a couple of years ago. Go check out AR500 body armor, and you can get hard plates. You can get a soft vest. You can get a concealed vest meant for low caliber and knife protection. So if you're really concerned about the areas you live in, you can get body armor that'll go under your clothing and you'll be fine. That's why I say it's the biggest benefit you can have. If you can go and buy something that would save your life, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's kind of more an if than when. But if something happens, I want every single thing in my pocket to be able to protect me. I've thought about buying my own concealable vest many times. And honestly, if I can get a good paycheck, I'll probably wind up buying a concealed vest and another better, bigger vest for someone chunky like me.
Something that fits you better.
Something that fits me a little better. But get me some better protection for the giblets and everything like that. Got to protect the goodies. Still need those.
Right.
But if you can go and buy anything that's going to protect you better than normal when you go out, especially if you live in a shitty area, do it. And they don't want you to do it because it's not regulated. It's not controlled.
Mm-mm.
They had that shooting years. What was it? 2006, years and years ago, where they actually had body armor when they went on a mass shooting spree. And there was a movie about it for a long time.
Well, yeah, the two guys that came out of the bank.
Yeah.
That movie there, they were in full body armor. But back in, the police, they were using AKs, but the police didn't have very good weapons back during that time frame when that took place.
Yeah, and most of the body armor they had on them was handmade.
Right.
So you can go now if you want to get body armor like they had, it's going to cost you about, I think I looked at it, it's about $1,500. So it's affordable. I'm not saying you need it. I like having it. I like having that little extra. If somebody broke into my house, I can fall back to my closet, throw that on real fast, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Because most of the time when people are shooting, they're aiming center mass. And I got a lot of center mass to shoot at. So every little thing in my pocket that I can have, I want. And I think more people should. I'm not saying you need to, but I think more people should look into little things here and there to protect themselves. I like to hide several firearms around my room because I don't, if I'm in the shower, I can pop out real quick. I got a gun nearby. If I'm asleep, I got a gun nearby. If I'm at my desk, I've always got something close by because let me get shell back centered. think I don't quote me on this, but I think a lot of what's going on is a giant ploy. It's all scripted. You know, they're actively trying to they push fear. It's propaganda. Look at what happened through all of history. When something wanted to happen, people put that fear, and that's how they got everything taken away. And why do you think the media tries to hide so much? I mean, look at the amount of COVID deaths that people have had from getting the vaccination. They don't want that covered. They want everybody to get vaccinated. And now they're trying to push getting a chip implant that will be able to alert you that you have COVID before you go and get a test. And this chip isn't small. It's about that. It's about a ½ inch long. I'm not getting it. I don't want anything that doesn't need to be in my body. It don't need to be there. I'm not getting it. I'm sure and Carl can attest to this, the amount of shots we get through the military is more than enough to deal with COVID.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
I'm not worried about it. And for all of our other veterans out there that had to get the PB&J shot, I didn't.
I didn't either.
If you're not a military member, if you're not a veteran, if you don't know what the PB&J shot is, it's this shot that is exceedingly painful that goes into your butt. You have to bend over on a table next to somebody. They stick that needle in your butt. You got to sit there and rub it for 10 minutes. It's not a fun shot, nor is it fun to listen to. Many people cried with that one. I'm allergic to penicillin, and the PB&J. The reason why we call it PB&J is because it is a cocktail of medications. It is. Yeah. It's just a culmination of different ingredients for like 40 different diseases. It's ridiculous. But we still had to go through the train and get your shots on each arm. And,
oh yeah.
So I'm good. I'll pass. You know, I don't agree with the desire to require people to have an ID card saying they had their vaccination to travel. Hey, you need to have this to get on a plane. You need to have this to get on a train. You need to have this to go across state lines. You need to have this to go into restaurants, courthouses, different buildings. They're basically trying to make it a necessity to get the vaccination. I'm not doing it. The vaccine it was made in a year. It hadn't been tested. Everybody getting this right now is the test subject.
Right.
And the fact that they have pushed a bill banning people from being able to sue the creators of this vaccine should be a giant red flag.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, hey, if I get sick, or if my wife, if your husband, if your girlfriend, if somebody gets sick and dies because of this vaccine, you're not going to get compensated. You just had your loved one, your family member, your friend die, and these guys going to walk away like nothing happened. That screams, don't do it. Because yeah, exactly. I don't have to tell you I'm vaccinated. I don't need to tell you anything.
That's medical information. That's private information.
That's a giant HIPAA violation.
There'll be lawsuits over that. You wait and see.
Oh yeah. That's if we can get a court with some balls. And they have stopped and pulled the Johnson & Johnson. Told you they would end up doing because it's causing blood clots in people's legs.
Yeah, they have.
So don't do it. Not worth it. Mm-hmm. Wait. If you want the vaccine, I'm not saying don't get it yet. Don't. You can get it later on down the line. 3 years. Let it come around. Let it be tested. See what happens. See the fallout. Everything like that. Let it be corrected. Let it be perfected. I want nothing to do with it right now.
Right.
I'm surprised nobody wanted to volunteer to be on the show.
I know, it's kind of funny.
Well, y'all gun shy.
but we will share a couple of things while I'm thinking about it here. Okay. You can find all our shows on the Bill of Rights Network Facebook page. Over there's a pin post at the top that lists all our shows that we have on there.
How many new viewers do we still have right now? Do we still have Sandy and Jim here?
We got 6 of them here. I don't know if they're still here or not. That's one thing it don't tell me is who exactly is in.
If you're a new viewer, let us know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also, let me bring this up and see. Our merch.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Which we do. We do have our new logo. We do have our 2 guys. They're ready to go on the merch. They are ready to go.
Right. And
Gotta
that'll
put
be
it
coming out this week's with some other things. But you can go on the Second Amendment Ranch's Facebook page, which is, let me get that off, and I'll show them real quick so they all know how to get there and find this.
I like to post a lot of funny memes there. A lot of funny memes. The Bill of Rights Network is strictly our video content.
Right.
If you want more jokes, more personal interaction, then you go to the direct show pages and see how they. I like to be a little more goofy with the page itself because a lot of what we talk about here is very, very serious. You know, we talked about don't point guns at your friends. Don't be stupid with firearms. You know, watch your ammo. We cover a lot of do's and don'ts, but I want to show you some entertainment to keep you interested in the shows.
Right. But on the Second Amendment ranch page there, like I said, you can find all the comments and videos and everything, but the pin post at the top of it, hit that shop now button, and it'll take you right to the Teespring where you can see the different colors of all the products that we have on there and put your order in.
They're not just all white. I promise.
No.
We have lots of different colors for everything there. They're not just a white shirt. You can get the colors, most of the colors you're going to want to want.
Right.
So
We'll be adding more and more, like I'll bring the coffee cup up real quick. It should be on there, right? Yeah, there's the coffee cup. Okay, if I go over here, it comes in white with the logo on it. Comes in that color. Comes in yellow. So there's different colors for everything on there. All you do is go back to what you was looking at, and it'll come up pretty cool. Just like on the go down to the classic T down here. There it is. There's the logo up close. And then there it is in yellow, gray, blue, orange, and of course, white. So we'll be getting that on there, but that's the logo on these right here.
And all proceeds go to better the Second Amendment Ranch and actually start building the ranch. The ranch is not meant to just be a show. We're looking at, hopefully within about 15, 16 months, opening a live ranch on a few hundred acres where we have 1,000-yard range. We have steel targets. We have moving targets. We have breach houses. We can actually put you in different scenarios. It's going to be more beneficial to the police and active duty military, stuff like that, or anybody that's real gun nut and wants to go out and handle themselves in different scenarios and situations. We're going to have a couple different hunters courses, stuff like that. It's not going to be a typical range.
It's not.
It's going to be adult Disneyland.
Yeah, that's basically is what it's going to be. It's going to be open to the public, law enforcement, first responders. I mean, it's countless who could use it.
Exactly, because, and I've covered this a lot. I would love to take an active shooter course. Unfortunately, where I'm at, the only one available in Houston is meant for active duty or law enforcement officials, not civilians. So I want something that yet now there's going to be prerequisites for you to be able to use the different courses. You're going to have to show your competency. You're not just going to be put in a room and let loose, right? But I wanted something that the people could benefit from, because there's not a lot of options for you. Sweep your home. And what I mean by, I don't mean with a broom. I mean, take your gun out, go around your house, see how you need to check corners, find your blind spots, find your concerning areas, find your egress, ingress points, everything like that. And this is meant to be a benefit for y'all as well as anybody else that wants to come to learn how to handle different scenarios and situations, going and getting groceries, stuff like that. Stop. But hopefully, depending on how we can get the show to take off, sponsorship, different stuff like that, jobs, that in under 2 years we can actually have a real ranch up and running. Donnie, up and running to benefit people, and we will be one of the few ranges in America that actually has a 1,000-yard range.
Right.
But it's not going to, we're going to allow bow courses. We're going to allow, I hate going to, I like the steel plank. I love hearing the steel plank, and I haven't been able to find a range where I can go out and put steel targets up. Getting that nice little ting, ting, ting when you're shooting is just so, gives me a little bit of a chubby. I love that sound. I love that sound. And we want to get away from the traditional, okay, I'm going to the gun range, I'm going to put a paper target up on some cardboard, poke a few holes, make sure I can still get center mass. Nope. Not just going to be that, Bubba.
No, be an option.
You can do that if you want to be basic. But hey, we got a moving target out there. Put a couple holes in it.
Yep.
We're going to put animals out there. We might put a moving metal man out there for y'all. We might
I got a guy up here can cut those out.
Yeah, exactly. We
Bigfoot.
might. Well, yeah, we might be able to put out Bigfoot we might put out, somebody's approaching you aggressively.
Oh, he's got a mountain lion up there cut out. That'll work.
So we're going to give you different options and different ways to train beyond the basic go out, put holes in paper. It's because every gun owner is going to get bored with that. You love the smell, you love the feel, but it gets repetitive. It gets boring. It gets old. I don't want that. I don't want anything like that. I want something new that hasn't been done before, because you're not in real life scenarios. You're not punching holes in targets.
No. But there again, folks, everything that's sold on that website and through Teespring and everything goes into the fund to open up the Second Amendment Ranch. It don't go to either one of us. It goes to building this. And if you know anybody out there that would like to support or sponsor this show or the Bill of Rights Network, contact us on the Second Amendment Ranch or contact me on the Bill of Rights Network Facebook page.
Yes, we prefer to get veterans first. Any veteran company that wants to get a little support and love. I've tried to reach out to a couple different ones, not gotten a lot of feedback from them yet, but I would like to try and benefit the veteran community more.
Well, I'm going to show one that is supporting us where I'm at tonight. Let's see if I can get this up there. There we go. I'm at BB's Down Home Cooking up here in Gallatin, a veteran-owned restaurant here in Gallatin, Missouri, and everything that we'll be at tonight in the later show after this one. But I give a big shout out. Everybody on the Bill of Rights Network has helped BB's. A little bit of information about her. She's a veteran-owned business here and stuff. Been in business for about 7-8 months. At Christmas time, being in business 3 months, she sent out over 400 free Christmas meals to the area out of her pocket. So I always put a big shout out to her.
Yeah. Because as we are veterans. I'm Navy. He was Army. Or there we go. He's Army. Other way. There you go.
Yeah.
So we do try and support our veterans a lot. And we do, I'm trying to keep most of the ranch as much in-house and family as possible because I want to support other veterans. If you don't know, there's over 50,000 homeless veterans living on the streets today. The average before the pandemic, there's 22 veterans a day that are going to take their own lives. With the pandemic, those numbers have hit closer to 30 to 40, which is, and in the past year and a half, I've lost 2 people I knew personally. So it is a huge, huge problem. And I think one of the biggest problems is they're losing the side of the mission. They're losing their drive, what they're supposed to do. They're not getting a lot of direction nowadays. So I want to be able to give that back to them. I know without having a goal, without having a mission, I feel very lost. Without some kind of guidance or drive, you get into your own head and you get into dark areas, and it's you don't need to be there. It's going to be a job, but I want it to be a fun job where you still get back to having that mission. You know what you're supposed to do. You're here to do it. You're here every day, and you have this program now where you can reach out to each other and help each other. Now, again, it's not just meant for veterans and military. We are opening this entirely up. It's going to be everybody, public, everybody included. The rules are going to be don't discuss politics, don't discuss religion. Those are 2 topics that are going to be really, really, really bad to have on a place with guns. But we're not going to limit. You can be left, right, liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, anything you want to be. Don't talk about it. Don't mention it. Don't shut the hell up. You're here to learn. But we want to give back to our family that mission.
Right.
So when it does open, expect to see a lot of bearded, chubby guys walking around with guns on them. I know I'm one of them. But we do have a lot of plans for in fact, our UK friend and our Sweden friend are trying to get over here and rebuild tanks.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So
They was coming over here. Well, Luke has already bought a house in Texas. He's waiting for him to lift up the movement out over there, England, and he'll be moving to Texas.
Yep. So he's very interested in coming and working on the ranch. So we're looking to do quite a lot, and it's not just going to be guns and tanks and stuff like that. We are looking to have some stuff for the other family. We're looking at possibly having a little petting zoo, some animals and stuff like that. I know Mary keeps complaining about that every chance she gets. But we're going to have like an apple orchard or some kind of area where you can go and pick some fruits or vegetables, something like that. So mom or sister, if she doesn't want to shoot guns, she can go over there and run through the patches and everything like that. We're going to have Luke wants to set up a museum, which I thought was a great idea. We are looking at actually doing some parades. We were wanting to do camping. We're possibly going to be putting a couple of like cabins on there where you can come and rent out. We're trying to set up different events for people to come and hang out, relax, and have a good time. I want to set up a couple of smokers and grills. So if you do want to come out all day, it's not going to be, pay by the hour or something like that. No, if you want to pay for a range for the day, it's going to be, $60. If you want to go to the 100 yards, it's $100. You can come out, shoot all you want, After that, after you're done shooting, you can go and cook some burgers, hot dogs, steaks, smoke a brisket. You can do whatever you want. You're going to have to rent it out, but you can do it. But again, no alcohol. If you want to drink, we're taking your guns.
Right.
We will have a safe area where we can put everything locked away, secured. There's going to be a process, everything. We've gone into many deep discussions and details about how everything is going to need to run and operate. And we've got a lot of backing support from some of our other individuals here that watch the ranch. I know Chasing Wolf is very interested in it as well. We have a couple of different range safety officers and firearms instructors that have voiced that they would help as much as they can. One of them was out of Kentucky, so he's kind of close.
One's out of Kansas.
You know,
Two's out of Kansas, really.
two's out of Kansas.
Yeah.
So we will have plenty of different support. And again, we will have our own requirements where we're going to have to get range safety officers. We're going to have to get our own licensing, everything. It's just not going to open up, okay, go be stupid kind of thing. It's going to be professional fun.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of cameras because we know somebody's going to screw up and it's going to be so fun to make fun of you after that.
It won't be Big Brother watching you, but it will be us.
Yeah. And if you've watched the show more than once, you know I like to make fun of stupid people.
Oh, yeah. Some of the stupid stuff we expect to see out there probably will be on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of plans hopefully coming to entertain everybody across the states.
So purchase the merch. You know, you can donate on the Facebook pages. Either way, Second Amendment Ranch, Bill of Rights Network. Every way you can get to, but help sponsor this, or if you reach out to somebody that might be interested in becoming a sponsor on here.
Yeah,
you know, we're open.
With a veteran company.
We're going to be going to a lot more platforms. We are looking to go to Roku TV, so we will be on there. Some other things in the works that we're working on, but Bill of Rights Network is going out in a whole different direction now.
Oh yeah. Oh, very much so. We stress the education here on the Bill of Rights Network.
Right.
Greatly. What was I going to say? Oh, and again, starting next week, be sure to get your shares out. So we are going to do the free shirt.
Right.
For a limited time. We'll let a couple people win. So
yeah,
just be paying attention to that. But
there would be a party side and a bitter side of the ranch. Yeah,
100% correct. I have nothing else to add there, Carl.
I don't either. Oh yeah, Mary's wanting to put the petting zoo in.
Told you. But all right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Get prepared for our next show.
Yeah. Nothing else to say on this. I want to thank everybody that joined in. Give a shout out, and I'm going to mess some of these names up. If you go up there to the top where the like button is,
yeah,
Benny Benencourt, Ross Golden, Chasing Wolf, George Balaja, Joanne Wickline, Crampton John, Chris Traeger, Trevor Warner. Then you go to the heart over there is Arnie,
Amy Lichter,
yeah,
Lichtler,
Don Lynn Scarborough, Victoria. Yeah, right. Sam Victoria, thank you. And of course, Nick Nicola, Simple Man from HTX Renegade Radio. Yeah. Big thank out for everybody that liked and shared the page tonight. I don't have much to say. I've got to, as soon as we get off this show, get ready, stay tuned. In about 35 minutes at 7:30 Central Time, watch Paranormal Nation Radio, where Cameron will be on the screen, Denise Pridemore will be on the screen, and me and my co-founder, Pastor Gary, will be investigating this building. Things has happened. We're either going to try to prove it or debunk it.
Yep, that'll be interesting to watch, tell you that much. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we always appreciate you coming out and watching the ranch. We do hope that you will continue to follow us and watch us grow as a show and hopefully business at some point in time. I look forward to continue working with and entertaining every single one of you, because without you, we wouldn't have a show.
Right.
So we look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. Next Sunday, same time, same places. We're plenty of places. We do have our YouTube up and running now.
Yep.
I know that's been asked for the past couple of weeks. It's finally attached. We got it ready to go. But as always, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Carl.
And welcome to the second